Hey, what's good, my boys? Before we start anything, this is the first part to the first challenge run, doing Bringer of Chaos challenge run. This one is going to be Nia only. We're doing this solo Nia. So we root for my girl, please. So most of you should already know Bringer of Chaos is, but for those of you who don't, Bringer of Chaos is the hardest difficulty in Xenoblade 2, and it's not your standard, oh, just raise the enemy health and attack power. It has that, but it's a lot more. So for Bringer of Chaos, it's got a bunch of extra multipliers. So enemy attack power increased by 25%, self-explanatory. Enemy attack frequency increased by 50%, so enemies will attack faster now. Enemy HP multiplied by 2.5 times. Enemy debuff status duration doubled, so debuffs will last twice as long as they normally would. Player blade combo buffer duration is halved from 30 seconds to 15 seconds, so we're not really going to be pulling any blade combos off in the run, like at all, or chain attacks, but I'll get to that in a second. Special gauge recharge gained halved, so specials take twice as long to build up. So specials aren't really going to be used all that much. Player HP restoration halved, self-explanatory. Base chain attack damage multiplier halved from 300% to 150. So basically chain attacks are hella nerfed, and there's a bug to where the chain attack damage is actually locked at 100%, so it's even worse than it says it is. And enraged enemies can perform rage strikes. The rage strikes are basically these super huge, all-powerful big attacks. Think like Z moves from Pokemon. That's basically what a rage strike is. And enemies with resistances become more resistant to driver combos, knockback, and blowdown. So pretty self-explanatory. They're more resistant to your bullshit. Alright, in the Ascended State activation consumes entire party gauge, so when we activate Numa, she uses up the entire party gauge, which is already hard enough to build up in Bringer of Chaos. That helps. And aggro generation and depletion are increased in certain situations, so you will gain aggro faster and lose aggro faster in their respective situations. Critical hit rate decreased by 4.5% for each hit consecutively inflicted. So say we have multi-hit move or special. Take Cosmos's level 6 for example. It is 16 hits. So each consecutive critical hit will do 4.5% less. So that's basically about it for all the parameters. It's a lot of shit, but hey, we'll see how we go. And for the most important part of the run, I'm going over my setup for Nia. On Nia, for accessories, we're running Blood Witch Nia purely for cosmetic effects. Crimson Headband increases critical damage by 60% because we like that crit damage. And Avant-Garde to be self-sustainable so we don't die. This isn't really a requirement or all that important, considering one of the blades we have will keep us healthy no matter what. This is basically just extra safeguard. And for pouch items, we're going to be running Narsa Pure Jelly and Hot Ruby Steam Bun, because art recharge is very important, and there might be some times later in the run we'll have to special recharge, so those times will come up when they do. And then arguably the most important part, the blades. For Nia, I'm going to be running Cosmos, Crossset, Iora, and Elma. Elma and Crossset going to be interchangeable depending on how I feel in the situation, but I will go over Elma as well. First blade, Cosmos. Cosmos is going to be running Tachyon Chip. The reason I'm not going Moon Matter, first, Moon Matter gives that insane crit rate, which of course we like the crit damage, but see, Tachyon Chip gives us Zohar cannons, and I kind of like the Zohar cannons over whatever the hell this is. So right now we're running Tachyon Chip. And then for her Ox cores, she's running Devoted Marigold NIA, which is basically just Affinity Max Attack 6. Outdoor Attack Up, you want as much damage as possible. And Critical Up 6, because, say it with me, we love that crit damage. Next blade is going to be Cross Set. Cross Set is running Moon Matter because, of course, you already know, crit damage. And then for her Ox cores, she's running Outdoor Attack Up 6 for as much attack as possible. Loyal Bellflower NIA because it boosts fusion combo effect by 36%. And Cross Set has the most insane fusion combo damage in the entire game. Plus, some of her skills pushes that even further. So, Cross Set is insane with fusion combos. And then Devoted Marigold NIA again for as much attack as possible. And then Fiora is going to be running Tachyon Chip because it increases her critical damage by 25%. Need I say more? Her Ox cores, Outdoor Attack Up 6, Critical Up 5, Devoted Marigold NIA. And before we actually start the run, I want to go over Pumbaa's setup, because there are going to be situations where we do use her throughout the run. Pumbaa is running Moon Matter because as much crit rate as possible. In her Ox core, Outdoor Attack Up 6, Devoted Marigold NIA, and HP Attack Boost 5. And HP Attack Boost 5 increases damage dealt by 30%. HP is 90% or higher. We're going to almost never be below max health, at least with Elma. So this is a very easy condition to keep. And with that, finally start this run. After I equip these pouch items real quick. Alright, and yes, all the blades do have S+ trust for the max amount of damage possible. And Nia right now is level 21. This is the level she's at this point in the game in the normal playthrough. But however, I decided to start the run here and not at the very beginning, because chapters 1 through 3 you can't take party members out. You can't swap out party members until the beginning of chapter 4, and it's kind of boring and not even part of the run. Not to mention the tutorials are kind of garbage. Nobody wants to watch that. But right here, this is where the true run starts. So with that, let's go. Okay, for now, we just got to go back to Garfont and then accept Merc missions. We're gonna have about 1 minute of basically free time, or we don't really have to do anything where we have to wait for the Merc mission to complete. So I'm just going to make a cut there. I know y'all don't want to sit through that. Your boy's looking out for you. Be grateful for that at least. But yeah, after this, I will see y'all after this is over. Alright, my boys, Merc mission's up.
Nicely done.
Here's what we've got.
And just know that this is going to be the first of many challenge runs. I'm going to be doing a challenge run with all the other characters. So I'm going to do Solo Rex, Solo Zeke, Solo Tora, Solo Morag. So I got quite a few videos for y'all. And then I might actually do runs for Torna, like solo team Laura, team Hugo, team Adam. I'm gonna have a lot of Xenoblade content ready. And after that, I'm gonna do like all the Blade quests, all side quests for Torna and Xenoblade 2. So to say I'm excited to make content for this channel, it's kind of an understatement. I originally wanted this channel to be mainly Xenoblade, or just Xeno in general, and I kind of did some with that with the Xenoblade Iceberg videos, but that kind of ended quickly. But this is like the true revival of my channel, and I want to start actually consistently pumping out videos for y'all. So you're welcome. Anyway, right here we have to go to Argentum so we can catch a ride over to Moradane.
That was a slog.
Locating position.
But yeah, after I upload quite a bit of Xenoblade content, I want to actually do a playthrough of Xenosaga. And I actually made a poll on my Amino, which to go check out. My most active ones are Xenoblade, Smash, Metroid, Splatoon. So I'm pretty active on all of those. But besides that, I love this game. Y'all voted, y'all wanted to see y'all wanted to see the Bringer of Chaos runs first, so that's what we're doing. I'm getting hella lost right now. I haven't played through the main story of this game in a fat minute, so I might be forgetting where to go a lot of the time. So don't hate me for that. Yeah, right now we just have to go to the Fonsamima port and hitch a ride back to Argentum. And then once we get to Argentum, then we go to Moradane. But while we have all this time to kill, I might as well just explain how I got into Xenoblade in the first place. So surprise, surprise, my first exposure to Xenoblade really was Shulk being in Smash 4. Like, okay, this character's fun to play. He's got a cool red sword. I like cool red swords, so he's pretty alright. And then I looked more into him and I saw he's from this game called Xenoblade Chronicles. I was like, okay, that's a dope name. So I went, looked up a playthrough of the first Xenoblade to basically see what it's about. And it was dope. I only watched like what part of it though, but like the very beginning, so I don't, there's nothing, I didn't really know anything about it, and I just kind of forgot about it after that. And then a little while later, I was reading the Game Informer, because my dad was subscribed to Game Informer. We'd get it every month. I'd rush over to the mail and pick it up. So in one of the Game Informers I was reading about, there was an entry for a game called Xenoblade Chronicles 2. And I was like, okay, this is a sequel to that Shulk guy, sequel to his game. So I read up on it, like, this is actually kind of dope. And it was for Switch, so that was even better. And then one day, my family and we went down to GameStop to get new games. I was lost. I don't really know what game to get. I was walking around and I saw Xenoblade 2. Like, oh, this is the game I read about that I like. Like, why not pick it up? I picked up Xenoblade 2. I was loving it the whole way through until the infamous Chapter 3 Akos and Malos fight. For the life of me, I just could not beat it. So I dropped the game for like a month. And then I finally decided to give it a chance, and I picked it back up. So after that, I trial and error, same thing. I fought the fight, couldn't beat it, and I was getting frustrated because I went the entire game without using a guide, and I wanted to keep it that way. I wanted to beat the game without having to use a guide. But I eventually folded and used a guide and figured out that I only had to get Akos down to half health. So I did that, and then the cutscene where we got Mithra popped off, I lost my shit. I was so hyped. I popped off so hard. I was like, yeah, this is finally it. I'm finally beating this goddamn fight. I can finally continue in the game. So after that, I played nothing but Xenoblade 2, and I loved it. I was like, every chapter made me love it even more and more. Like, I fell in love with it the more time I played. So, and then I finally beat it. Like, the ending cutscene is really sad. I wanted to cry, but I just couldn't. After I beat the game, put down my Joy-Cons, I was just like, whoa. This game is absolutely incredible. Shit's a masterpiece. And after that, started doing a lot of post-game stuff, completing Blade quests, maxing out affinity charts, side quests, DLC, all of that. Like, it was incredible. I loved everything about it. Here. I loved everything about it. And then eventually, I saw Xenoblade 1 was getting a remake for Switch, DE, Definitive Edition. Like, oh, bet. Like, I love the second game, why not actually play the first game? I know about Shulk and everything now, well aware of Xenoblade now. I just didn't play the first game, so I got the first game on 3DS while waiting for it to come out on Switch. After that, I was hooked on the game. Playing through Xenoblade 1 on 3DS, and then DE actually came out, and I was actually able to beat DE. I had more fun playing DE than I did on the 3DS, because just all the quality of life improvements, everything was better. So I fell in love with the whole series, and it's like, you know what? I think Xenoblade 2 may be my favorite game ever, even trumping Breath of the Wild, which is saying a lot. So to this day, Xenoblade 2 is my favorite game ever, favorite video game of all time. And eventually, surprise, I heard about these games called Xenosaga and Xenogears. Like, okay, are these somehow related to Xenoblade? They both have the Xeno prefix, so they must be. And as I looked more into it, I figured out that Xenogears and Xenosaga were actually, along with Xenoblade, part of the big massive Xeno meta series. And I had gotten into Xenogears and Xenosaga as well, like I did Xenoblade. Now, just Xeno as a whole is my favorite video game franchise, with Xenoblade 2 being my favorite game. And Xenoblade Chronicles 2 has genuinely changed my life in a big way, and I could not be more grateful. I have a different perspective on the world, and I look at people in a different light, for the better, of course. So this game's incredible. I have damn near 400 hours in this game, and I plan on putting hundreds of more in. So it can only get better from here. But yeah, I've played Xenoblade 1. I'm in the middle of a playthrough of X right now. And 2, you already know the story of that. I still need to play Xenosaga. I'm going to do a playthrough of that on this channel, and then eventually at some point I'm going to have to play Xenogears, which is going to be a bit of a hassle to get, but it'll be all worth it. But yeah, Xenoblade changed my life, and I'm so glad I decided to read that entry in the Game Informer that one day, because if I never did that, I mean, this video wouldn't be up right now, and who knows where my channel would be at and how different of a person I would be today without it. So I owe a lot to this game and just the series in general. That's basically my story and how I got into Xenoblade and just Xeno as a whole. But I'm loving it so far. But right here, all of my yapping aside, I'm sorry to torture y'all like this, but back to the actual game now. We have to go take back Rock. We got Rock's core crystal after Van Damme died, and a couple of rascals stole it, and we just have to get it back. And then we finally get to go to Moradin. As you see, max trust, S plus trust makes a lot of these early game fights a joke. I can basically one-shot enemies with arts this early in the game, but that's not gonna hold true for the whole run. It only gets harder from here. It does not get easier at all in any sense. It only gets harder from here. So brace yourselves for that. Right here, we gotta go to Brigand's hideout to stop the thieves, I guess. I don't really remember. But here we have to summon Rock so we can get rid of this ether miasma. Actually, I probably should have equipped him. Yeah, he's not even equipped. And yeah, there's a little bit of lag in the video and the audio, and the audio may sound a little off right now with echo and like just other background noise. That will be fixed in the next video, so don't think that's gonna be like this for the whole playthrough. Having some complications right now, but this will be fixed in the next video. I respect y'all too much to do that to you, so be good. Now with the ether miasma out the way, we can finally go fight these thieves. And you can see why Cosmos is one of the best gate blades in the game. Her damage output is insane, and you're about to see it here.
Just do what we always do. That's it! Fire!
Energy yield amplified.
That's it! We can even better.
Click and arch.
Sure.
Rush down. Targeting. Complete. Master.
Like I'm going down without a fight. Fire!
Master, you have sustained over 70% damage. Commencing obliteration.
Here we go!
Order process.
I'm stronger now. Much stronger.
And with that, we can just decimate any enemy with Cosmos is level 2. It really is that strong. And even with a full heal. So as long as Cosmos has a level 2 special, there really shouldn't be any problem at all. But this lag is kind of messing up my combat because I can't even cancel arts because of the lag. But now we can finally go to more Ardain.
And we're you. Locating position.
And I hate to have to do this, but we're gonna end this part right here. I don't want these to get too long. I want to be able to space these out pretty nicely. And I've been recording for almost 30 minutes, so I don't want to bore y'all too long. But just know that all the audio and lag problems will be fixed in the next part, so don't worry too much about that. But yeah, I'm excited to actually build up my channel and start pumping out these videos. So with that, say it with me. Hope you have a damn good day. Stay safe, be well, and play some Xenoblade.